Hey guys, Rob from Georgia, back with part two, I guess, of my top shelf. So this will be shelf one, or the top shelf, shelf number 1B, I guess. Is a good way to do it. So we left off with The Exorcist 3, and just the idea that I cannot wait till this re-release comes out this year. So let's pick up with Peter Jackson. And here's my copy of Dead Alive. Found this at Movie Stop for just $8. And I thought that was quite the steal. The only two Phantasm films I own. The German edition of the original Phantasm. Just could not find a copy here that I wanted, or couldn't find one at all, so had to settle on the German edition. Kind of stinks because there's no English subtitles, so gotta hear it in German if I want to listen to it. But I do have it on VHS as well. So of course, Scream Factory edition of Phantasm 2. That might be my favorite part of it. That's the old VHS cover work. That's what I would have rented as a kid. Had a theatrical poster at one time of it as well. And that is an awesome, awesome edition of that film. The only two entries into the Lecter franchise, of course, Red Dragon, which is, I mean, it's okay. I know they only did it for continuity's sake, with Anthony Hopkins and whatnot. But I do prefer Manhunter. I don't own it, but I do prefer Manhunter to this film. It's a much superior film. I just think Michael Mann is a much better director. Of course, Ridley Scott's entry, Hannibal. This is just a really, really great edition of this film. 2-disc special edition. Commentary, of course. This commentary is great because he gets into a little discussion about just, you know, reworking a novel to the screen. And that's an interesting conversation that he gets into. Next, of course, is Henry Lauder's Basket Case. It's the only one I own. Found this, too, at Movie Stop. Really super cheap, like $8 or something. It's the Something Weird video release. And of course, audio commentary by director Frank Henenlotter. Probably didn't say that right, but this is my only copy. I know the UK, there's a trilogy edition that looks pretty sweet over there, but that's the one I got. Documentary here was re-rolling to some Friday the 13th. His name is Jason, or was Jason. Of course, most of you probably have that. I've only dug into this like one time. I need to go back and see the main documentary again. The double feature widescreen edition of the first two films, Friday the 13th and its sequel, Part 2. The original Friday the 13th uncut edition. And the only one I own is the 7th one, which might be my favorite one post Part 4. I really do enjoy this one. I think Butcherloo does a good job. I like how I like the makeup, just the makeup, practical effects of Jason and how they portray him. Maybe one of the best steals, bargains I might have ever come by. My steel case edition of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Of course, DeBay Hooper's classic. I found this on the bottom shelf of Walmart as well for like $5, and this thing is loaded. 2 discs and just tons of stuff they packed on those DVDs. But 2-disc Ultimate Edition, it's only $5. Still can't get over that. I don't have the Scream Factory edition of this yet, but this is not a bad edition, the gruesome edition. of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. You know, it's funny, as much of a comment as the first film is on the 70s, this is a comment on the 80s. And so it's why the two films seem so different from one another. A little bit of Rob Zombie here. This one I picked up at Best Buy some time back. The 3-pack, 3-disc collector set. House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and of course the supplemental disc of the making of the Devil's Rejects. And that was pretty cheap too as well. Of course, his 4 Halloween films, the 2-disc edition, theatrical cut of the first Halloween entry of his. His follow-up theatrical cut of H2. I think I got the theatrical cuts of these films at Five Below, like really super cheap. And then of course his unrated cut with of course the ticket when I went to go see it, and his unrated cut of H2. Rolling into a few Wes Craven flicks. Got Shocker. I don't have many Wes Craven flicks, but maybe one of my favorites, favorite films that he ever did, is this one. Picked this up not too long ago, I think at Second and Charles. I think it was part of a buy 3 at $3.50, get a 4th one free or something like that. But I know the Scream Factory edition has a new one, and I really do want that edition. But Serpent and the Rainbow, I think it's one of his best movies. Of course, the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm not too fond of the artwork. It's the Infinifilm. It's got, of course, the commentaries and some extras making of the film. And recent pickup, the Nightmare on Elm Street 8-disc franchise collection. Again, the original artwork for number 1 would have been nice, but I'm sure a few of you probably have this in your... And of course, all 8 films. So the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And last but not least, on the top shelf is probably the first box set I ever bought. Of course, Wes Craven's Scream franchise. Well, excluding part 4. But 1, 2, 3 supplemental DVD with a lot of extras. Of course, commentaries on all the discs. This is, I think, one of the best box sets. Of course, I don't own the Halloween box set, but it's just a nice box. I have seen this on Amazon, really super cheap. Of course, a whole lot cheaper than I paid for it. But if you interested, Amazon, I can't remember how much it was, but it was not. It was low enough that it made me mad. I hate it when prices go down so low once you've purchased. But that is that will wrap up shelf number 1, the second part of it. And hope you liked. Hit the like button. Of course, this is VHS82 apostrophe. And hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll end off with just, as always, go Bills.
One of these days, I'm going to catch you.